Hello, welcome to Spectrum News at 12. I am Rachel David White, coming to you live from the beautiful hills of Ibiakuran. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Buhari says Boko Haram is not religiously motivated. Federal government says power sector recovery back on track. Plus, Italy signs gas deal with Angola in a bid to boycott Russia. Details of these stories and more in a moment. First in the news this afternoon is a report that President Muhammadu Buhari says Boko Haram insurgency has neither religious nor ethnic underpinning. He said this while receiving the Chief Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, ICC, Karim Khan, at the State House in Abuja. Buhari noted that with concerted public enlightenment, it has become clear to the people that Boko Haram is a perversion of religion rather than Islamic ideology. In his remarks, ICC prosecutor who said extremism is like cancer which spreads and can also recede, noted that what Boko Haram does in collaboration with Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP, is perversion of religion. In another development, President Muhammadu Buhari says increasing the capacity for in-country production of vaccines and medical supplies has become a matter of national security. He directed Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ehanire, to submit a progress report by the end of May 2022 on the indigenous production of vaccines in the country. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, Buhari gave the directive while receiving the leadership of the Nigeria Integrated Biopharmaceuticals Industries Consortium, led by Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Villarugo Kuyas. Away from that, federal government says that efforts to improve power supply across the country is back on track after about 2 months of challenges that led to the collapse of the national grid thrice within a month. Speaking at the Power Sector Recovery Program workshop for journalists in Abuja, Chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Sanusi Garba, said consumers will soon begin to see changes in electricity supply. The government says it expects the grid to deliver a minimum of 4,500 megawatts of power daily, adding that services is expected to improve. On education, President, Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osedeke, has accused the federal government of not giving priority to tertiary education. According to him, the government had addressed the issue of fuel subsidy with a budget of 4 trillion, whereas while ignoring issues concerning university education. Speaking during an interview with newsmen, Osedeke asked the government to take the 200 billion naira needed to revitalize the academic sector from the 4 trillion budgeted academic sector for the 4 trillion naira budgeted for subsidy in order to put an end to the industrial action embarked upon by the union. On Security, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya has said Army project officers with the responsibilities of executing or supervising contracted projects in and around several barracks must be competent and proficient for timely delivery of high-quality projects. According to him, since the Nigeria Army executes most of its projects through direct labor, a high standard of professionalism and competency must be maintained to avoid possible building collapse across barracks. Yahaya, who was the special guest of honor at the first project planning and management workshop organized by the Nigeria Army Special Projects, Abuja. We move on to politics, where the All Progressives Congress says it will begin its sale of presidential governorship, national and state assembly forms on Saturday. The APC revealed this after its 11th National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja. Meanwhile, the APC has pegged its expression of interest and nomination forms for the presidential ticket at 100 million naira, with the presidential nomination form to be sold for 70 million, while expression of interest forms will go for 30 million naira. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has further adjusted its timetable and schedule of activities for the 2023 general elections. PDP, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunabwa, says the closing date for the purchase of expression of interest and nomination forms for the 2023 general elections has been adjusted to Friday, April 22nd, 2022. According to the Publicity Secretary, under the reviewed timetable, the last day for the submission of already completed forms has also been extended to Monday, April 25th, while Wednesday, April 27th and Thursday, April 28th are set aside for the screening of aspirants for State House of Assembly, National Assembly and governorship, respectively. He also disclosed that Friday, April 29, 2022 has been fixed for screening of presidential aspirants, while all appeals and screening will be extended on Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Back here, traders selling within the popular Itam market in Akwa Ibom State have decried the unhygienic environment for business caused by decomposing waste around the market. Speaking with Spectrum Television, the traders called on the state government to ensure prompt evacuation of the refuse. A correspondent has the report.
It is a major market in Akwa Ibom State, where merchants within the state and different parts of the country come to display and sell their wares, which includes food items and other edibles. Although the state government can be applauded for its efforts on cleanliness, waste products from the market can be seen dumped and neglected by the roadside, spanning days to weeks without being properly evacuated and disposed. The waste therefore accumulates to cover half of the road, thereby hindering free flow of traffic and movements. Merchants who spoke with Spectrum Television lamented that they've lost customers who could not endure the odor emitting from the waste, and how they have managed to spread their wares amidst water from the waste flowing to their edibles, making it unhygienic for consumption.
This has been as they here since last week now, and because of that, customer cannot come here because fry is too much. Even the smell disturb us, so we cannot sit down here and eat again as we used to.
It has been for more than a week now. Enough, the thing has been too much. It has bringing flies upon our markets. People, customers could not patronize us anymore because of the flies here.
According to them, the situation wasn't always this awful, as efforts have always been made to clear the waste earlier, but they are not comfortable with the persistent delay.
They used to come every day to carry the dustbin, but this time, since last week, it's more than 1 week now.
It has been for more than a week now. They used to carry it every day, but now the thing is, I've been there for so long, I don't know what happened.
They are calling on the state government and all relevant authorities to address the situation speedily, as it's becoming an eyesore in Uyo, capital city.
We want the government to come and help us. This place has been here for too long. We don't know what happened.
I'm pleading for the governor and all the executives to come and rescue us from this place and help us to carry the dustbin.
Edidion Martin, reporting for Spectrum Television.
In Africa, South Africa's major port of Durban, where last week's devastating floods disrupted operations, is now functional. The country's public enterprises minister, Pravin Gordhan, who announced this, noted that a backlog of thousands of containers will be cleared within 5 to 6 days. The floods caused extensive damage to roads leading to Durban Port, one of the busiest shipping terminals in Africa and a key hub for exports like metals and agricultural commodities. Meanwhile, Cote d'Ivoire's new Vice President, Temoko Melit Kone, took to hold of office before the Constitutional Council in Abidjan, a day after his appointment to the post, which had been vacant for nearly 2 years. Recall that President Ouattara had announced the appointment as Vice President of Kone in front of deputies and senators gathered in the Congress in the Ivorian political capital, Yamoussoukro. Reports say the post of Vice President, as enshrined in the last constitutional reform of 2016, has been vacant since July 2020. Meanwhile, a new government is to be appointed this week by Prime Minister Patrick Archie, who was reappointed on Tuesday, 6 days after his resignation. Elsewhere, Italy on Wednesday tendered a deal with Angola to ramp up gas supplies from southern African country as it urgently scrambles to break away from Russian gas over the Ukraine war. A statement from the Italian foreign minister announced the declaration of intent was signed to develop new natural gas ventures and to increase exports to Italy. Prime Minister Mario Draghi wants to add Angola and Congo-Brazzaville to a portfolio of suppliers to substitute Russia, which provides about 45% of Italian gas. The deals in Angola and Congo could bring Italy an additional 1.5 billion cubic meters and 5 billion cubic meters a year, respectively. Still to come in the news, 6 players join Premier League Hall of Fame. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying tuned. On the foreign scene, gun salutes will ring out to mark Queen Elizabeth's 96th birthday, although the monarch herself marked the occasion with little fanfare. It has been a troubled year for Britain's royal family, with concerns over the Queen's health and questions over the future of the monarchy. Rounds will be fired from the Tower of London and Hyde Park in the British capital, where a military band will also play the Happy Birthday song. Meanwhile, President Vladimir Putin on Thursday ordered the Russian military to cancel plans to storm a Mariupol steelworks and declared the Ukrainian port city liberated. Putin gave the order to Sergei Shoigu, his defense minister, who had previously told Putin that more than 2,000 Ukrainian fighters were still holed up in the vast plant, which has a sprawling underground component to it. He said his decision not to storm the steelworks was motivated by the desire to safeguard the lives of Russian soldiers. On our business news, telecommunication subscribers under the aegis of the National Association of Telecoms Subscribers have said they are set to drag the federal government to court in May in a bid to temporarily suspend the government's borrowing of subscribers' outgoing calls. Recall that on Monday, April 3rd, the federal government ordered telecom companies to bar outgoing calls on aerial lines that were yet to link their national identification number and the subscriber identity model. In response to these, NatComs has urged the federal government to extend the implementation of the STVNg policy by 3 months, with 1 month to implement the ban. Still on our business news, Nigerians' external reserves rose by $243.83 million in 19 days. According to figures obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria, Governor CBN Godwin Emefiele said at the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting that the moderate accretion to reserves reflects the duality of Nigeria's position as an oil exporter and importer of refined petroleum products. In health, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Minister of Health, Dr. Sajay Hanere, to submit a progress report on indigenous production of vaccines in the country by the end of May 2022. The President gave the order on Wednesday in Abuja while receiving the leadership of the Nigeria Integrated Biopharmaceuticals Industries Consortium, led by Chief Executive Officer of FRELAB, Velarugo Kuyas. He noted that his administration considers food and medicine sufficiency as national security issues. Buhari mandated the health minister and its team to work closely with the consortium and give the support required for the actualization of the NIBI project within the next few months. And Sports Premier League has announced their Hall of Fame has nearly doubled, with several new additions, including Paul Scholes and Didier Drogba, but none from Liverpool. Patrick Vieira and Wayne Rooney were revealed as the 9th and 10th inductees in March. Also in the line are Danish goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel, Manchester City pair Sergio Aguero and Vincent Kompany, Paul iconic former Arsenal striker Ian Wright. Meanwhile, 7 days after the appointment by the National Football Federation, some coaches have said they were yet to be contacted by the Federation, adding that they only read about the appointments on the pages of newspapers. Recall that on April 14th, the NFF appointed several coaches, goalkeeper trainers, and match analysts for the various national teams. On our entertainment news, Vin Diesel has revealed that the latest Fast and Furious movie will be titled Fast X and that production has begun. The 54-year-old actor who played Dominic Toretto in the high-speed franchise took to Instagram on Wednesday to reveal the movie's title and confirm that production has started on the film. Still on entertainment, Nigerian singer Seun Kuti has advised men to shun violence, noting that no part of African culture encourages violence against women and children. The singer stated this on Thursday when he called out people who cherry-pick the part of African culture that suits their actions. And that's all we have for you today at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, STVNg. You have been watching Spectrum News at 12. I am Rachel David White. Have a good afternoon.